Hey guys, hope I'm audible. I just want a confirmation from you guys in the question section so that we can start. Just one or two yeses from so that if I'll know if I'm audible and we can continue. Okay, so Rahan said it's audible. Prakash, okay guys, Prakash and Rahan, thank you. I'll continue. I'll just try to speak a little louder if I'm not. Okay, so this session would be on DevOps. So what we're going to cover is I'll just brush up the software development models. What are the different models available and why DevOps is preferred right now? And then what is DevOps? How does a DevOps pipeline look? What are the different phases? And also the different stages. Okay, so these are the things we'll be looking into it. And once this is done, I'll tell you where you can go check out the exact demo, which is shown in this video. Uh, it'll be in our YouTube channel. I'll tell you like which you can just check out what is DevOps pipeline video, which was uploaded recently. So now I'll just cover the other parts, theory part. So this session is divided into two guys. One is my part, which is completely technical part where I'll be explaining all the technical concepts. And then the second part would be regarding the certification and the career change. So if you want to get into DevOps, if you want to change your career from another role to DevOps, or if you're already in DevOps and want to upskill yourself, so whatever questions you have regarding the career, the certifications, the training, whatever it is, you can give that questions at the end to ask my colleague. For now, if you have any technical questions, you can straight away ask it to me. And once I complete all of the parts which I have to explain, then I'll answer one by one. I'll answer questions for around 5 minutes and then I'll hand over my session. So now, coming to the development models, we can see there are the popular ones are waterfall, agile, and DevOps. So waterfall is basically, let's say, this kind of a dead model right now, dead method right now, because lots of companies shifted to agile and now the transformation is towards DevOps. So waterfall was basically a large product delivery time. So that was the biggest drawback of waterfall, because in waterfall it is step by step. You complete one phase of the project or the product and then move on to the next phase. There is no in between. So basically you do the development completely and only then you go to the next phase, and then the operations phase, and then releasing it, and then testing it. So everything is separate. So because of that, waterfall model is quite slow and it's a pretty ineffective model right now in the current way or current IT way. And then coming to agile, so it reduced the product delivery time, the customer feedback improved. Yeah, so basically agile improved the working methods, but in this case agile is not completely automated. So this is one of the biggest drawbacks of agile. So you can see from this image, waterfall is this, that is, it takes the whole time to complete the whole project with all the features and all these side features, everything, and then will be given to the client. In agile, so you'll be creating the main feature of the application, releasing it, then work on the next and next important priority ones, and then release, work on the next one, release, and work on the next and release. But coming to DevOps, DevOps is again a collaboration between the development and operations team, but it is not just that. It is the collaboration of the development, the security, the operations, the testing. So it's basically the collaboration of all different entities which is required to create a complete product. But in this case, the release cycles are very short. Let's say the release cycles might be daily for some companies. The release cycle might be 3 days once. It can be 1 week once. Because you can see many applications will have an update every week. So if you see in, let's say you go to Play Store, you have an application, and if you just check out any application, for example, you can just go towards that manage apps and device and check if your product, if some applications have updates, and you can check the next update when you're going to get for that particular application, and it will be pretty soon. So applications right now are getting updates frequently. That is because of DevOps and very, very short release cycles. They work on a small feature and update it, and they do that continuously. Okay. Yeah. So now, so that was basically the development, so the models and the methods. So now coming to DevOps. So DevOps, again, I explained what is it. It is a collaboration between teams, which makes it seamless. And also, it is the main motto of DevOps is to automate the entire software development lifecycle. Second point is that it decreases the what is that release and delivery sorry cycle, and because of that it's quite popular and quite fast. Okay, so these are some of the tools they've mentioned. I'll come to the tools later. Okay, so now what is a pipeline in DevOps? So a pipeline is basically the essential part of a DevOps architecture, because a pipeline is everything. You create a complete pipeline which is, let's say, at least 90% automated. So if you look at this diagram, you can see the developer basically is the first part. You plan the product. The business analyst gets the product details and requirements from the client, and then your developer creates a plan and creates the application. And once it's ready, it is committed into a version control system, like let's say Git or Bitbucket or whatever version control, sorry, whatever version control tool you're using. And then from there, it is integrated with a continuous integration tool like Jenkins or Azure Pipelines. And once that is done, so whenever the code is updated, the pipeline tool, sorry, the CI/CD tool like Jenkins or Azure Pipelines, they automatically pick the code, and then they basically use your input already, which is available. That is, you have a testing environment and you would have a build environment already set up. So once the code is pulled, the code will be built and it will be pushed into what is that, a testing environment. And once the testing environment runs the application successfully, and once everything is tested by the tester manually as well, and also using Selenium, you can create automated testing, test lifecycle. So once that is done, once everything is sorted, the application will get released. So now, meanwhile, the developer will still be working on other features, and every time there is a push, every time there is a push to the master branch of your version control, sorry, of your repository, Jenkins will, so you can basically provide which particular branch that Jenkins should look into to check for changes. Whenever there's a change in that branch, it will automatically pull and build it, test it, and deploy it into the production only if the testing passes. Okay, so this is basically a pipeline which I explained. A pipeline is a completely automated software development lifecycle. It cannot be completely automated. There will be some parts which has to be manually done. Okay, so now the phases. So now coming to the phases, I'll just tell what it is and then explain it. So first would be continuous development, and then it would be testing, and then it would be deployment and monitoring. So to keep all this together, we need the fifth element, which is continuous integration. Continuous integration, which basically keeps the entire DevOps pipeline running. So in this case, the continuous integration tool is Jenkins, and the what is that? Continuous development tool would be the version control tool, which is Git. Continuous testing tool here is Selenium, and what else? Monitoring tool is not provided here. I'll explain. There is something called Nagios, uh, and there is ELK. There are so many other monitoring tools. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so now coming to continuous development, that is the first part. That is they plan and code it. So once it is coded, it will basically be pushed into version control tool, as I told you. So now the continuous integration tool will pick up and push it for build and release, build and testing. So again, the continuous development part and testing part cannot directly communicate. So to make them communicate, we need continuous integration tool. So the code is pulled, sent into build and test. Once it is built and test, if the test is successful, if all test cases pass for the application, and then the application is pushed into release. So the application will be released and deployed in a production environment. But the task is not complete once you released or deployed it, because you will have to monitor it and check how it's working and check its operation and fix whenever there is an error. For that, again, the continuous integration tool is connected with a monitoring tool, which will constantly monitor uh, the application and send feedbacks to the development team. And the development team will again get the feedback and plan accordingly and start coding. So this particular process is completely automated except the coding part, because the programmer has to do the application. Everything else is completely automated. So that is basically what a DevOps pipeline is. Okay. So I think I explained right there. Okay, there is a hand raised. Let me check. Guys, just put your question in the question section so that I would read it and answer it, because there is only I can speak here, because as this is a webinar. Please put your question down there so that I can read it and answer your query. There was one hand raised, but I couldn't see who it was. Okay, so continuous development, as I told you, planning and coding. So I explained this. Um, Integration, I explained. Integration is what keeps everything at play. It is the central role defining the flow of steps from development to the monitoring stage. So it basically is the tool which guides and monitors the entire development life cycle. Testing, again, as I told you, continuous testing, you can set up test cases, you can set up uh, test cases which automatically run, and to automatically make it run, you can use automated testing tools like Selenium. But again, for Selenium, if it has to be automated, you will have to write code which will which will be a one-time thing. For the application feature, you will be writing code and it will be tested, and then that will have certain test cases which has to be passed. Only then the application will be tested and sent for release. And then continuous deployment. So first thing, deploy to production. So whenever the testing is final and the product is ready to basically release, then it is basically pushed into production and it is released. So therefore, the product is deployed to the production server, but not to the end user. This basically means the application is running on the production server, but not yet available for public use. So second thing is product verification for the client or for your company. So next, the product which is pushed into the production environment is checked, and if it runs successfully, if everything is fine, then it is basically available for public use. So the same thing happens every time a new feature is released for the application. And finally, continuous monitoring. So the application is deployed. So now there will be an active application running 24/7, monitoring your applications, monitoring your servers, monitoring every aspect of your product and reporting back. So you'll be the development team or the operations team or whoever is related to it will be getting the reports, and according to it, they start planning again and code for that feature, and this process continues. And so basically it never ends, because a product always needs features, always needs a bug fixing, always needs improvement. Okay, so that basically is the entire life cycle. Okay, so now coming to the questions, I'll answer two questions because there are two questions here from Samadan. So hi, if everything is automated, then what is the role of a DevOps engineer? Yeah, so you are the person who creates that entire automation pipeline, right? So you create that pipeline. You use various DevOps tools to create that automated pipeline, and you then manage the pipeline itself. So I'll that's what I'm going to explain right now. So you'll get a better idea, some of them. From Apurva, do we need coding knowledge to get into DevOps? Yes, because your entire role will be creating a pipeline for software development lifecycle for a product. So basically, without an idea of how software development works, without an idea of basic, at least basic coding, you cannot get into DevOps. So this is one point which I wanted to state here. But again, that part will be covered by my colleague, who will basically tell you everything about uh, like what is required for a DevOps engineer and who can become a DevOps engineer, right? So now coming to this part, so this basically I will be answering Samadhan's question. So what is the role of a DevOps engineer? Okay, there is one more question. Does Docker and DevOps covered in DevOps? Does Docker and Kubernetes are covered in DevOps from Ketan? So if you're asking about our course, Intellipaat's course, yes, we covered that. Because Docker and Kubernetes are essential services for any company which uses DevOps. Because Docker is a containerization tool. Kubernetes is a container orchestration tool. So both are required. Okay, so now let me come from first and explain you all the tools which are required. First step is planning and coding. So for that, you don't need any DevOps tools. That will be entirely on your IDE, which you have, whatever code it is. So it can be Java or C Sharp or whatever programming language the programmer uses. Okay, so now, but the code will be stored in a central repository for all the members of the development team to access. So that central repository would be a version control tool like Git. In our case, if it is Git, then it can be GitHub, it can be Bitbucket, or it can be Subversion. Okay, there are various other repositories as well, whatever your company uses. But Git is the quite popular one, which is most commonly used by everyone. So now the code is pushed into GitHub repository, which you have, right? So this is the first step. The code is built and pushed into the GitHub repository once the code review is done. So this is the first step, and the first tool which is important for a DevOps engineer is Git or any other version control tool of your choice. It can be Bitbucket, it can be Subversion, doesn't matter, but I'm just saying Git because Git is the most popular version control tool. Okay, so now coming to the second point, which is build and test. Before that, there is a question uh, from Karthik. Once again, I didn't get it. Can you please uh, frame the question better, Karthik? Okay, from Apurva, one more question. What if we don't have an idea about AWS cloud and familiar with Azure? Okay, so in that case, you can enroll with us. We teach both of them. So for DevOps, we also teach cloud tools, so you don't have to worry about it. But again, if you're doing it on your own, obviously you would need an idea about AWS. You would need an idea about Azure. You would because you'll be hosting the application. Most of the companies are using cloud tools right now for hosting their application. So in that case, without an idea of AWS or without an idea of Azure, you will not be able to what is that? You will not be able to create a pipeline, because most pipelines requires AWS or Azure for infrastructural needs. Okay, one more question from Samadhan. Is DevOps engineer do the coding part? No, the DevOps engineer does not do the coding part. The developer does the coding, but the DevOps engineer will be basically communicating with all the departments in the what is that called? The software development complete team. So it involves development, it involves testing, so security, everything, right? So the DevOps engineer will be involved in all of that aspects. So the DevOps engineer's only job is to create the the DevOps pipeline, which will be working automated, and the DevOps engineer will be constantly monitoring it and checking if that needs any improvement to the DevOps pipeline, because uh, it won't be the same, right? The test cases will vary for every feature. The what is that? The testing tool will vary, because one application might be running on Node.js, one application will be running on what is that, Java or whatever it is. Okay, so everything varies, and according to that, the DevOps engineer will alter the pipeline time and time again. So the coding part is not done by the DevOps engineer. Okay, one question from Rehan. Is DevOps tightly coupled with cloud computing, or it can be in on-premise? So it can be in on-premise, but right now the companies who are using DevOps, or people who are learning DevOps, are learning it with cloud computing, because it's much easier comparatively with an on-premise setup. Because if it is on-premise, you will have to set up every single aspect of it. But if it is cloud, for example, if you take AWS has tools which will help a DevOps engineer. For example, they have ECR, Elastic Container Registry, where you can push your images. They have EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. What else do they have? They have ECS, Container Service for running your containers. Um, what else do they have? Yeah, so they basically, yeah, they also have developer tools. They have all tools required for creating a complete DevOps pipeline. Okay, so yeah, it is tightly coupled, which is so much better. Okay, so the next questions I'll answer once I complete this part. Okay, so now coming to build and test. So first part is building an automated test process, which will basically convert the code into a software or a package of files, which is ready for running, or which are basically executable files. Okay, so tools like Maven, Gradle, Apache Ant, Selenium, JUnit. So these are testing tools. Okay, so first, Maven, Gradle, Apache, Ant are essentially for building, not exactly for testing. Okay, so now coming to building, when you create an application, let's say on Java, in that case, you will be building the application on Maven. So you will get your jar and var files, and you can use that to run your application. So same thing goes on for Gradle and Apache Ant. So according to, for example, if you are coding in C Sharp, or if you're coding in a .NET framework, in that case, you might use MS Build for building your code. So building aspect is one. So once the application is built, then that application will be run on a testing or a production environment, sorry, in a testing environment. And that software and that application which is running will be tested using automated tools, semi-automated basically, you by from Selenium and JUnit, and there are so many other tools. In Selenium, let's say in this case, you will be coding, let's say your application is running. Using Selenium, you can create an automated test case where, let's say, if it's for a sign up page, it will automatically put in all the details and it will check it. And if it works properly, it will automatically pass the testing for that particular application. Okay, so this is the second part. So for this, so yeah, this is the second stage. And the third stage would be release and deploy. So for releasing and deploying, so now the testing is complete, the application is ready for releasing. So you already tested it in a testing environment. So now coming to the production environment, so people are preferring Docker and Kubernetes right now rather than having a complete server for each and every aspect. So this is because you can create a microservice architecture. So what a microservice architecture means, you can create multiple smaller virtual machines inside a server, or multiple smaller, what can we say, environments inside one server. For example, you cannot run Python 3. Python 2.8, Python 3.4, and Python 3.8 in the same server, because they are different versions, and one server can have only one version of Python. But in this case, if you are running Docker in your server, you can create three different isolated environments which have three different versions of Python running in them, and three versions of Python can have a different application running in them. So one server can accommodate multiple Docker containers, and this makes it easier for basically deploying. You create an image, you upload it, and it will be deployed. Again, the concepts are really complex here, so I'm just brushing it up. Second, Kubernetes is basically the orchestration tool. So you can create an environment, and that environment would be ready for for deploying. But to deploy that, you would need Kubernetes. And using Kubernetes, you can create you can create pods, and in those pods, you can basically run the Docker containers. Okay, so once that is done, you can basically release it into a server, which is basically running all this. And once that is done, the application is deployed in the production environment, and it'll be smoothly running. And then you have Nagios and Datadog. So these are basically monitoring tools, and these monitoring tools will basically monitor the application which is already created, and they provide feedback to the developer. They provide all kinds of feedback, and the developer, they check what are the bugs, what are the things which has to be changed, and which are the things which has to be improved, and then they make the changes, and it all goes back to planning and coding stage. So this is where the DevOps engineer comes into play, who makes this complete process automated. Okay, so I think I've completed it. I'll just answer 2 or 3 questions and let's end my part of the session. Okay, so this is basically a sample. You
Can you
can
hear me?
see the programmer or the developer creates the code, commits and pushes into GitHub. Jenkins will automatically read and use build tools to build the code and push it into a testing environment. Once the testing is done, uh, if the application is running successfully, then it will be pushed into the production environment. And then the production environment will be constantly monitored by a monitoring tool, which in fact will be sending feedback to the development and the development team. And this process goes on, and this pipeline has to be created by the DevOps engineer. So there are 4 questions right now. I'll answer them and I'll basically give my session to my colleague. Okay, so first, cloud engineer and DevOps engineer roles are a bit similar from Samadhan. They are not actually similar, but a DevOps engineer should also know cloud engineering concepts, because cloud engineer's only role would be to monitor and create architectures on the particular cloud environment, let's say AWS or Azure. But a DevOps engineer should also know DevOps tools and create the pipeline. Uh, from Naina Shaikh. There are 3 questions from you. I'll try to answer them in one go. First, I'll read them. So first one is, will I learn to resolve troubleshooting? Will I get an idea on this course platform? So if you're asking about Intellipaat, yes, we do provide all tools which are required to create a complete pipeline. So yes, you will get an idea of everything. Second thing is where I will learn Mongo or Kafka commands here. Uh, no, Kafka, we don't involve Kafka here. We do not teach Kafka, but like not in the DevOps course. We teach it in the Hadoop and Big Data one, not in the Kafka one. Mongo and Kafka is taught in the Hadoop and Big Data one. If you want, it can be clubbed together. I'm not sure about that. And then the last question from you was, will you teach commands and where and why to use it in this course? Yes, obviously. Let's talk about Docker. So in Docker, you will use Docker commands to basically create those images and push those images into registries. Without commands, we cannot create them. So obviously, we'll teach every single command which is required to what is that? To create a Docker image and upload it to the registry. So basically, we will teach the complete package to for you to become a DevOps engineer. In this case, we'll be teaching all the DevOps tools required. Okay, last 3 questions. I'll just brush it up soon. Rajesh, how many tools we have to learn to become a DevOps engineer? So this
Well,
is
sorry to
by
interrupt. Can you hear me?
which is asked by many. But again, as a DevOps engineer, it will completely depend on the company you are joining. But again, we teach 10
Hello?
different tools which are involved in various phases. So again, that will be explained by my colleague. So I'm leaving that. Uh, will your DevOps course cover CKA? I do not know what CKA is. Um, CKA certification syllabus. Is this certified Kubernetes administrator? So for if it is Kubernetes, in that case, we have a separate complete course for Kubernetes. You can check that out as well. Is there any certification for DevOps? Uh, there is certification for Docker and Kubernetes, but not for all DevOps as a DevOps engineer. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Nayan Shaikh. Okay, the last question is, what is the basic knowledge required to switch into DevOps? Basic knowledge, uh, programming knowledge you should need. You should know the DevOps tools required, and you should have an idea about cloud tools. So that now my colleague will be covering all of that aspect. So thank you so much, guys. Uh, for attending my session. So now my colleague will be joining and explaining you everything about the training, everything about the course, everything about the DevOps tools which you'll have to learn. So stay tuned. Thank you guys.
Hey guys, sorry for the delay. My name is Charles Christopher. I am an advisor and a career counselor. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, so I'm going to take you through the program, explain you the benefits. I'll also show you a couple of programs which is suitable for you because in this webinar we have a mixed match of audience from freshers, college passed out students, from people who have not been working for quite some time for personal reasons, for people who are currently working, they want to move into cloud or DevOps. Now here we are on the Intellipaat homepage. Let's search for the program by typing in DevOps. Here we go. Let's straight away go to the first program, which is DevOps certification training. And if you have any questions, please drop your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer all your queries. Now, this thing, first thing that we notice is this is in collaboration with IBM and Future Skills. And free Linux course. Well, guys, I would like to tell you, whoever wants to get into DevOps or whoever wants to get into cloud and DevOps are like husband and wife. So you will have to upgrade your skill set. Even if you're aiming towards DevOps, you should know one cloud at least. Whoever wants to get into cloud, they should know DevOps. So 90% of the cloud servers are run on Linux, whether be it AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, IBM, Alibaba, they all run on Linux. So having a basic understanding of Linux is definitely an added advantage. So that is the reason, having a basic understanding of Linux is mandatory, I would say. So am I audible now? I'm sure I'm audible. Okay, so that is the reason we provide you with a Linux self-page for free. So even before you attend the live instructor-led training, so you are familiar with the basics of Linux. Understand something, you need not become an expert in Linux, but you just need to know basics. That is more than sufficient. Well, 33 hours of instructor-led training. So let's take a look at it. What is it that you'll be getting trained in the 33 hours of duration? Now, these are all the list of modules that's going to be trained with the live instructor for 33 hours of duration. So you can click on each and every module. You'll see the subtopics covered in the literally the modules. So every module, you see subtopics covered, and you'll be literally learning from the introductory part, from the very basic to advanced step by step. So whether you are from IT or non-IT, doesn't matter. We are going to train you literally from the very basic to advanced step by step with exercises and assignments. So we don't teach you guys, we are going to train you. So that is a major difference between Intellipaat and other companies. So this is what I mean, guys, hands-on exercises. Every module has hands-on exercises. So this is purely a practical learning platform, not any sort of theoretical or boring lectures. Now, moving further, DevOps projects covered. Now, this is, are you able to see the screen now? Are you able to see the screen now, guys? I think now it's fixed. Perfect. So let me walk you through from the beginning. This is in collaboration with IBM and Future Skills, like you see. And you get a free Linux course. I've also explained why is it important. This is 33 hours of duration of live instructor-led training. Now, these are all the modules that's going to be covered from the very basic, how to install on DevOps tools on your cloud, and literally from the very basic introduction to DevOps. So it doesn't matter which background you're from, you'll be literally starting the concept from the very basic. And every module you see here has hands-on exercises. So this is what I was trying to tell you. We don't teach you guys, we train you. So this is purely a practical learning platform, not any sort of theoretical or boring lectures. Now, these are the DevOps projects, guys. If there is something that is going to land your career or help you become proficient with the technology or help you, clear the interviews during the technical round, these are the only projects which is going to help you, because nobody is going to ask you what is CI/CD pipeline. You'll be coming across questions like, when you worked using Kubernetes, using CI/CD, what are the challenges you faced and how did you overcome those challenges? Believe me, no videos or no Google is going to help you, because you need to practice these projects and only you can phrase the answers to such questions. So we are going to provide you the lab for you to play and practice. We also provide you lifetime technical support assistance whenever you're stuck or whenever you have any queries. We are there to help you, guide, and assist you guys. Now, moving further, DevOps does not have any government authorized certification exam so far in the market. So this is the best certificate for DevOps, guys, acknowledged by Future Skills and NASCOM initiative, issued by Intellipaat. Now, I want to show you a couple of the programs. So before that, let's discuss about Intellipaat. Well, Intellipaat is an e-learning company. We are in business for 7 years. We have 700,000 learners, and our reach is towards 55 different regions. So we are the only company to offer you lifetime access, guys. So there is no expiration. You can attend as many classes, retake as many batches. Nobody's going to stop you or question you. Instructor is live. Any questions you have, you're free to ask him. He's going to answer to you. Live recorded videos of your own classroom is also added to your account for your reference. So it's humanly impossible for you to remember all the classes. You just need to watch your own recorded videos just to brush up your knowledge and understand what you learned. So it's a lifetime access. There's nothing to worry. You can redo the batches as many times. It is also mentioned on writing on the website. Attend as many batches for lifetime. One-on-one doubt resolution. And if you're in India, you please follow the website timings, which is very accurate, which clearly says IST. If you are in the US or Northern America, I will definitely show you the timings and discuss the timings with you. Now let's talk about the pricing for this, guys. Self-paced is a pre-recorded video along with downloadable PDF materials in it, which is $229 US. Online is $399 US. Well, go for online. You get self-paced absolutely for free. So I'm going to drop you my WhatsApp number for both US and India. So you can definitely reach out to me. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions. So I'll also discuss about multiple courses. For me to guide you in the right path, I would like to know you better. So I won't be able to recommend you right away because I need to know what region you're based out of. Are you from IT or non-IT? How many years of oral working experience you have? And what are your plans? Only based on that, I can guide into the right program. But having said that, I'm going to take you through individual other couple of programs as well, so you can take a look at it. So here you go. This is my US WhatsApp number, and this is my Indian WhatsApp number. You can directly WhatsApp me or drop me an email to charles.christopher@intellipaat.com. Now, go for DevOps. You, instead of 10%, the website offers you get 30% discount. I just have 2 coupons. You just need to WhatsApp me. Let's discuss, and I will help you saving your money. Now, any questions? Okay, I have a question. Can you please tell the difference between self-paced and online? I take self-paced only if I be a part of it online. Like I told you, self-paced is a pre-recorded video of an instructor along with downloadable PDF materials in it, whereas online is live instructor-led training. So you'll have an instructor who is live. It's going to be interactive. People who usually go for self-paced, I'll give you an example or a scenario. Let's say you already know DevOps, you've been working with DevOps, but it's been a year or two that you stopped using DevOps. Again, you're working on a project on DevOps. You just need a brush up. So those are the people, they just go for self-paced so that they can just brush up and understand DevOps. But if you're looking to upgrade your skill set, if you want to move into DevOps, don't go for self-paced because you need an assistance, you need an instructor to guide you and hold your hands and train you step by step. Go for online. The reason why we give you self-paced DevOps is few people are comfortable to learn through PDF documents. That is the reason. So the other program I want to show you is Cloud Architect Masters Program. Like I told you guys, you go for any job openings, you can Google it. The job openings will literally talk about a few skills, like they ask SQL, they ask certain part of programming language, they'll ask, they'll ask DevOps, they'll ask cloud, they'll ask multiple other things. So this is one of the hottest program in the market, which is called as multi-cloud. So this is in collaboration with IBM and Microsoft. This is all the top 3 clouds in the market. So this is AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, DevOps, and Python. These are the 5 programs with live instructor. Java, Linux, Splunk, Azure Architecture, Hadoop, and Agile. These are self-paced. It's a combination of 11 programs. The benefits are the same, guys. Lifetime access, interactive sessions, everything is literally the same. Whoever wants to get into a market, they need to learn cloud with DevOps, but having a multi-cloud is literally an added advantage. Let me explain you why. Now, 90% of the companies out there in any region are outsourcing companies. That means they purely work on projects. Let's say you're working in AWS currently, your company, but if the project requirement, the future project requirement requires Azure, no company is going to let go of a huge project, which is worth huge money. They are going to implement Azure also. But the reality is at that point in time, no company is going to hire a new program manager, new product manager, new team leader, and a bunch of new team members. They expect the current employees only to upgrade their skill set. This is the reality. So that is the reason a multi-cloud specialist is in a huge demand. don't be surprised if you're paid double your salary. So multi-cloud program is something I would recommend for anybody who wants to get into cloud or DevOps. Now, the only difference is the course is designed to clear multiple examinations, and you get IBM course completion certificate and Microsoft course completion certificate. Because the duration is more, the pricing is more. That is the only difference. So this has $999, but you get a flat 50% discount whichever region you're based out of for Cloud Architect program. So I just have one coupon, guys. To avail the coupon, please WhatsApp me or email me. Let's discuss about your career, and I can guide you into the right program and also help you save your money. So any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer. So in the meantime, the program I want to show you is DevOps Architect Master Program. Now, there might be people in this webinar who are from a proper hardcore programming background like C#, Java, Python. You've been working as a hardcore developer or programmer. So you want to get into cloud or you want to get into DevOps. So even though this is a DevOps architect program, you see here we have cloud, AWS, AWS SysOps. So programming language and complete DevOps. So if you want to become a DevOps engineer, this is the program you should go for. The only difference is this has multiple courses again. DevOps, AWS, AWS SysOps, Docker, Kubernetes, GitHub, and Python, and Linux is self-paced. Rest everything is online. So you have projects here, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So this is very, very important no matter where you learn. Without having a hands-on is useless or pointless, guys. Please don't waste your time or money. Whoever is sharing bunch of videos or PowerPoint presentations is literally waste of money and time. More than money, it's time. So I have come across many customers in the past 13 years because they found a couple of cheap pricing courses. They try to learn by themselves. They experimented. 3 months already passed by. Then they understand, okay, this is not helping me. I need an instructor and I want to get trained. Please don't do the same mistake. These are the things told by my current learning students or candidates or customers themselves. So here you get IBM course completion certificate, and you get a DevOps course completion certificate from Future Skills. Again, this particular program, the difference is the duration and the pricing. The duration for this and the Cloud Architect Masters is 4 to 5 months. You get 50% discount for this program as well for DevOps Masters program, and I just have one coupon with me. So you just need to WhatsApp me and let's discuss one-on-one, and let me help you save your money, time, and guide you in the right program. So I have a question here for non-IT. Is it better to use online? Right. Whether you're from IT or non-IT, you need to remember Shake. You don't know the technology. It's always better to go with live online instructor. Let's say you're from IT, but you're working as a network engineer, network manager. You worked on Java, but you want to get into DevOps. So can you learn all by yourself? Why do you want to risk it? It's 80 to 20. Only 80% you need an instructor. So always go for online, guys, because it's much more structured. Instructor is going to explain you and is going to train you practical way, in a practical manner. Is going to give you exercises and assignments. Self-paced is given to you for free if you go for online. And you're also saving a lot of money by choosing online. Directly go for online. So don't even hesitate going, thinking about, is it worth? You're just spending a couple of $100 extra. That's it. But it's really worth your time and money. Now, if you're in India, I told you can straight away follow the website timings. If you're in the US, the weekday batch is Monday to Thursday, guys. The timings is 9:30 in the night Eastern Standard Time to 11:30 in the night Eastern Standard Time. This is your weekday batch schedule. Weekend batch schedule is Saturday and Sunday. Timings will be 10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time to 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So you can make a note of it, or you can take a screenshot or a print screen. It's going to be helpful for you to remember. Since I'm working now, can I reach my troubleshoot issues which I'm not able to fix? That's a technical question. I'm really sorry. I didn't understand your question quite well. So that is purely a technical question, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not a technical guy, but the person who took the webinar was. I'm taking a presentation. I am an advisor and a career counselor. So if I get to know your background, I can guide you into the right program, which is going to help you boost your career and earn a very good package. So that is where my expertise come into picture. So if you have any questions with regards to that, you're welcome. Perfect. No questions. So let's proceed with the final program. So this is one program which is put together by two brilliant minds, which is IIT. I'm sure most of you know IIT. So do you help placement? I will tell you the difference, Ketan. So we provide job assistance in this. Now, job assistance works in three steps. We are going to rework on your resume. We are going to prepare you for the interview with list of mock question and answers. And we have our own job portal. We have 500 plus hiring partners. Instead of you marketing your resume on LinkedIn or Indeed, you can also use Intellipaat job portal and market your resume. So your possibilities of lining up interviews literally increases. So this is the job assistance we provide. So next question, is there any program with collaboration for both cloud and DevOps? Yes, this is the program, a multi-cloud program, which is called as Cloud Architect Masters Program. So this has both cloud and DevOps in it, which has AWS, Azure, DevOps, Python, and Google Cloud. So I'm going to show you one last program, which is in collaboration with IIT Roorkee. So this is a job interview guaranteed program, guys. Why am I using that term when I did not use that term for all these programs is pretty simple. This particular program is in collaboration with IIT. So 40% of the content is literally taken by professors of IIT themselves. 60% of the content is taken by working professionals with 15 plus years of experience in IT who works for the Fortune 500 companies. So the content is so solid, and you'll be learning exactly what is required for you to land any of these careers. So once you complete the 7 months comprehensive program, you can apply for a role as cloud architect or DevOps architect or senior DevOps engineer, cloud and DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, or AWS DevOps architect, just to name a few. So you'll be learning all these skill sets. Now, the difference between this program and this, if you have that question back of your mind, so you exactly don't know how much of agile you should know, how much of Linux you should know, how much of Java, or how much of Python or DevOps or cloud. But this program, exactly, we are training you how much is actually required for one to land a career. So you'll be learning Python, Linux, DevOps, AWS Cloud, Azure, OpenStack, cloud security, distributed computing, parallel computing, Azure design and architecture technologies, virtualization, load balancing, fault tolerance, AWS DevOps, just to name a few. So the only requirement for this particular program, which comes with a minimum 3, maximum 5 job interviews in whichever city you're based out of, whether you're in India, whichever city, or Europe, or Middle East, or US, Northern America, doesn't matter. We guarantee a job interview, provided, I'm quoting again, provided you should have a bare minimum of 75 to 80% of attendance. You should complete the exercises and assignments on time, which will be evaluated. Only then you get to know what are the areas you need to improve, what are the areas you're lacking. If you take care of these two criterias, 8th month, we are going to prepare you for the interview with one-on-one career mentoring sessions and mock interviews. 9th month, we are going to guarantee a job interview, guys. So this is a job interview guaranteed program, which is very much structured. So the cost of this particular program, in reality, I will also show you that. Let me just open that. Is $3,079 US. But because of COVID, because of the Ministry of Education, there is a subsidy only for the first batch. You're getting a huge discount. So this is IIT Guwahati. There is no difference between this and IIT Roorkee. The content or the job interview, you see, everything is literally the same. So this is the actual cost, guys, $3,071. But this we are offering only for the first batch, which is commencing on 14th of August. But it's only on a first come first serve basis. For the first 40 attendees, we already have booked 33 slots. There are last 3 slots available. And this particular program, if you're in India, that is going to be 75,000 Indian rupees, including GST. If you're in the US, the final price is 1,000 US dollars. And we just have last 7 slots for the first batch. So this is a job interview guaranteed program, guys. So let me go out to the question. Currently, I'm working in one project. If I have any issues in the project, can I raise a question? Where is that? Can I raise a question during the online class? Well, this, whatever your question you're having, is not a technical question. You are asking for a consulting service. So you can definitely ask any questions which is regarding or which is with regards to the content Intellipaat offers. Example, if there are certain topics or tools that your current project is working on, we do not train, we cannot take care of that questions, because you're not asking for a technical help, you're asking for a consulting services. That is going to be a different cost and different duration. It's going to be one-on-one training. Can you arrange job interview, Karthik? This is the program I'm talking about. Minimum 3, maximum 5 job interview schedules. So we guarantee you the job interviews. So we are preparing 1 month for preparation of the interview. So exactly, you will not be asked any question outside the syllabus what we are training you. This is a 7 months comprehensive program. This does not come with any lifetime access, Karthik. So this is a one-time investment, and you should make sure that you attend all the classes with minimum 75% of attendance. You should complete the exercises and assignments given to you on time, which will be evaluated. 9th month, we guarantee you a job interview, whichever city you're based out of. So if I enroll for Cloud Master program, can you provide job assistance? Job assistance is provide whichever program you go for. We give you an access to our job portal where we have 400 to 500 plus hiring partners. You can market your resume on Intellipaat job portal. So this is job assistance. Whereas certification in IIT program, which comes with a job interview guaranteed program. So for job interview guaranteed program, it's a 7 months comprehensive program, guys. So 7 months conducted only during the weekends, 3 hours Saturdays, 3 hours on Sundays. So if you'd like to know more, you can definitely reach out to me on my WhatsApp number. Is placements are provided for DevOps course? Yes, the placements are provided. See, this particular program, again, is for multiple roles. For DevOps architect, senior DevOps engineer, AWS DevOps architect, cloud engineer, cloud and DevOps engineer, cloud architect. So this course is designed or aligned for people who want to get into a DevOps or cloud programming without programming everything. So here you go. This is my WhatsApp number. Kindly WhatsApp me. Let's discuss about your career, and I'll be definitely able to guide you in the right direction and help you save your money. Guys, please don't think about money, because whatever money you're going to spend is not you're not buying something. You're investing on your career, which you're going to earn back in less than 30 days of your salary. Less than that, because you're going to get at least 30 to 40% of a good hike with landing a career in a better company. So it's an investment that you're going to make. You're not going to purchase something. So if you're serious about upgrading your skill set, you're in the right place. Give us a chance, and we are going to prove you the result. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. I hope the webinar and the presentation was useful, and you know how to reach me. I'll be looking forward to discuss further with you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.